Hey everyone, welcome back to the Vision podcast. It's been a while, but today I am joined by Benoit Duvette from some of he's a writer and director, and he is definitely a vision of movies in my eyes. Hi Benoit, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So for people who haven't really seen your movies or don't know much about you, what could you give us a little brief introduction to yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Benoit Duvette in French because I'm a French director. I'm making some films, queer films, gay films in particular. I'm living in the north of France, and I grew up just on the sea. And from the beach where I grew up, I can see the UK sometimes. So, um, so I'm directing some movies, and I'm kind of a artist, I think, because before I was directing movies, I study music. So everything is often related to sound and music in my work. I love to make video clips too. Um, and this is it.
Where did your love of film begin? Was this always the dream when you were younger, or did it grow into a dream over time?
Um, I would say it's funny because um, I was always interested in photography. I remember when I was a child, my parents offered me, a Polaroid with an
Yeah.
instantaneous photo, and I think it was my first, how do you say, experience with picture, and I loved it. It was really something interesting for me. And my in my family there was an old camera. Uh, Camescope, I don't know the English word, for the family. And I often take it. I was, I don't know, filming my friends and filming my bedroom when I was a child. So there was these first experiences. But when I was a teenager, I started to learn music, and I was really focused on music. And photography was more something um, beside music.
Hobby beside music.
Yeah. So I go to I learned music. I was in high school in music, and then I start to make movie. But when I start to make movie, I always thought about these first experiences, you know. So I will not say I always wanted to make some movie, but when I say music, I mean when I was in high school, I also learned about how would you say that, electronical music, with
Yeah.
sounds, a lot of things with voices and narrative music with a story on the music,
Yeah.
almost documentary music sometimes. I think it's the beginning of something for me too, because telling stories was the more important in the composition.
Yeah.
I have to say that when I was child, I wanted to write some books. So I think movie is more about telling stories than making pictures. But as I say, because I was interested in pictures, in music and sound and stories, I think films is just a mix of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll come to sound in your movies a bit later on, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about that sort of thing later on. So when you started out you started with music and then you went to movies. Were you, did you ever think that, oh, movies not really for me any really? Did you think I would just stick with music, or did you have a time where you thought, oh, I can do this. I can do this.
No, I think things were really natural.
Yeah.
It was more some experiences and some meeting some people, and I think I have to say that there is something else. Is a book that I read, and I thought, okay, I must do something with this book. And it was the first movie I made. And I think, yeah, it's at a moment on your life when you decide that you have to do something really important for yourself.
Yeah.
For me, it was a movie, I think, yes.
Yeah. Like me with this. This is my like big task in 2026. So I need to. So a lot of your films explore themes around identity, sexuality. Was that something you always set out to do?
I'm not sure, but yeah, identity, yes, because I think it's a deep question for each one of us, and I don't know if we can resolve this question. Uh, so, and I realized as I grew up that this question became more and more intense and difficult and complex.
Yeah,
Uh, so and I think if you start to dig into this question, you can go out. So now, sometimes I thought maybe I should explore something else. But
yeah,
whatever I make, this question is always going on my
yeah,
face.
yeah. So I want to talk about Ruins first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've only watched it recently. I found it as soon as I could to watch it recently. When you look back at it now, what would you say is the main theme of that film?
So this Rin is my second film. And it was the first that I wrote by myself, because, as I say, the first was from a book. And I have to say that the script was really different from the movie, the results. And it's different because I realize something with the we say with the pictures that I didn't realize when I wrote it. It's that the intensity of the two characters was more. Um, I don't know how to say, but when I wrote the story, I think the two characters were more shy, more and something more ethereal in a way. And when I start editing, I realized that there was more something savage and ritual. So I think the main theme is more about something deep inside that have to go out. And this was not exactly the plan, but it's something that the two actors gave us during the
Yeah,
filming, and something that appeared on the editing. So I think it's really interesting because you have a scenario, and then you film, and the scenario uh, change because everything become more in a way real, but it's a fiction. But you see the characters being alive, and sometimes there's something interesting to see. It's that you write a scenario, and then you shoot it maybe 1 year or 2 year later, and you
yeah,
change from when you write it. So yeah, this is it. The main theme is more something, and yeah, I think at this moment I needed to say something more radical.
yeah. So do you think when you have the actors there, it changes your perception of your own script every time?
Yeah, almost. Um, be, because it's funny because I think I have a special direction for the actors, and I remember that for Rins, one of the two boys. It's funny because we met him because he was making some stop. We were on we were driving, and then he made the stop on the, I don't know the English word for this. We took him and we started to chat about making movie because we had a camera on the seat. And then it was the casting. So I say, okay, come to see us in a few days for the casting. And say, oh yeah, why not? Obviously, I chose him because there was something special. But he was not an actor. But he was really motivated, and I feel at this moment I feel that it was important for him, and something was special. So
Yeah.
I give him a chance. But as he was not an actor, during the rehearsal, it was really difficult. So I had to work on the interpretation and to move how I imagine the character, you know. Yeah, so it changed the vision, but a film is not just one vision. It's a lot of vision that you have to consider and to make it together to have something coherent and to have something that with all the energies and the everything that people brings on the set and on the project. Yeah, it's
So
yeah, meeting some actors and meeting some teams is always an experience that will change the way
yeah,
you see your project. Yes.
yeah. So one theme that I took from Ruins was escape,
Mhm.
because they seemed like they were escaping something, both of the boys in separate ways. Um, on a tough day for you, what does escape look like for you personally?
Yeah. There is not always something personal in my movie. Not directly, I think. I don't take something in myself and say, okay, I will work on this and write a story about this. It's more something in a way universal. But I think my films are always about escaping our feelings,
Yeah,
especially because it's gay people, personage, a character. So that's true that my characters are always trying to escape their feelings because they are struggling with these feelings. Um, and yeah, so escaping is more in this way, and the fact that they are in a forest and they are running is it's just a picture of escaping,
okay.
being lost in the dark, in the nights, and in this strange and yeah ethereal place. Yeah, that's it.
So you went from Ruins into Eden and Charlie, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is a beautiful film, by the way. It's gorgeous. I've watched it a few times now.
Oh yeah. Thanks a lot.
When you describe that one, again, the film really speaks to identity.
Mhm.
Would you say that's the main theme again with Eden and Charlie?
Yeah, it's about identity, but it's maybe about yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a really torturous movie. um, and I have to say that uh, um, before shooting Aiden and Charlie, I shot a video clip, which was kind of that inspired me for Aiden and Charlie. It was a story about being in love with a boy, but this boy, and trying to make the first step, but you realize that the boy is not like you or don't
Yeah,
have the same feeling as you. So Eden and Charlie is more about that, about should I make the first step, but what's gonna happen? And so Charlie is not making the first step, because he's not sure about Eden. But I think but we know that Eden is almost ready. But yeah, you
Yeah.
see, it's just being on this fine line of should I go or no. Um, yeah, this is, I think, the main theme of the movie, and being ready to go, and to assume their feelings, because as we can see, Charlie should go, should say to Eden what he feel,
Yeah.
but he's struggling about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people in that film, you sense vulnerability. In your career, have you ever had that moment of being vulnerable? And did it change how you worked and what you wanted to say in your movies?
Yeah, um, I think, yeah, this is being an artist is being vulnerable, I think,
Yeah.
because you I don't know how to say, because it's a feeling, and I think maybe some artists don't feel the same, but for me, yes. And yeah, being queer, I think, is also being vulnerable in a
Yeah.
way. And yeah, maybe some people don't feel like it, but for me it is. um so yeah, I think, um I realize that it's something maybe we have to change, because often people say, "Oh, it's again a sad story about queer people. I don't want to cry anymore on watching this kind of story." Yeah, I'm aware of that, but I think it's because, um, yeah, I feel personally sometimes vulnerable. So this is the kind of story I tell.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly why I feel vulnerable, but in a way, it's being in the world. You see,
Yeah.
So um, maybe it's the reason why I'm making some movie, to discover why I feel like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. So in clips I've seen around YouTube about Eden and Charlie, you've mentioned that the house was a big part of the story, and the settings really is stunning.
Hmm.
First of all, how did you find that location?
Um, I have a friend. She's making the makeup. She's the makeup artist on the film, and she's also making some murder party. um, and uh, so she was scouting for this place for his our next murder party, and she called me and she said, "Okay, Benoit, um, I'm in this place. You have to come to see it, because we have to shoot something in here." And it belonged to a town, la mairie, the city hall. I don't know the English word for that. And there was they didn't know what they're gonna do exactly with this house, but they told me maybe in a few months everything will be clean, and maybe it's gonna be a restaurant or something else, something new. So if you want to shoot with this old paper, the ambiance, etc., come to shoot as soon as possible, because we don't know exactly how
Yeah.
long it's gonna stay like that. So, and I think it's we were conscious that when we film it, that it was the last moment for the house to be like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a part of a nostalgia in the movie, because yeah, we feel that the house was speaking to us in a way,
Mm.
say goodbye to old soul, to become something new later. Yeah, but
So when you
it's a real chance, because maybe we could have never see this house and not making this movie. Because when this friend called me, uh, I just start to write the movie a few weeks later, and I wrote it in a short time. because I knew that the house would maybe not be available anymore. So yeah, it was really a short period of time to make this movie.
Did you fall in love with the house straight away when you saw it?
No, no, not at all. Yeah, no, no. When I visited, I said, okay, it's nice, okay, but I don't know exactly what we're gonna do here. But I took a lot of pictures, and so when I came home, I thought about it, and I choose the place in the house and say, okay, in this place we could make something interesting. The story could be about the free floor, and this is how I imagine the story with the first floor with the house and the first meeting, and the bird was also in the house. Then yes, the first floor for to see the garden, and the attic to the mystery and the old pictures that Charlie shows to Eden. Yeah.
Yeah. So something you use so well in Eden and Charlie is silence. No dialogue, which hits more sometimes in movies, which I love. In Eden and Charlie, the silence feels loaded. What was the intention behind using the silence in the way that you did?
Yeah, as I say, because I learned about sound in my study, um, sound as a really important part of my movie. And I think it's like in the real life, we often have some moment where we don't talk at all, and
Yeah,
some stuff happen. And so for me, this is something important, and everything has not to be said with words. Uh, because sometimes just a little gesture is more say more than some words. I often say that for example, in Rins, that we talk about later, previously, when the two boys are lying on the cars, one of them is just making a small move with his little finger to go closer of the other boys. And I think it's just a details, but it's something that say a lot to his intention, you know, um, something that we could have not write in a dialogue. Uh, and so in the same way, sound say more, and there is a lot of symbols in the sound that we can explore and play with. For example, when they are Eden and Charlie are in the tent during the night, I used some sound of owls, the birds,
yeah.
the night birds, because it's like someone who is making sound from inside, so this is just something that you can hear, and that play with your your intention. It's not something that the characters say, but it's the environment. It's the yeah.
Yeah.
So silent, but there is no really silent. There is many birds, many look, many, I don't know. There is many things to explore during a small uh, yeah during this moment, yeah, when they are not talking.
So Eden and Charlie, they're both lost in their own way in the
Yeah.
film. Might be a tricky question, but who do you think is the most lost out of the two of them?
Oh, who do you say?
um, I think Eden.
Yeah. I think it's Charlie.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, okay.
yeah, but it's funny because I think the whole movie is about Eden, because he's the mysterious one,
Yeah,
is the strongest one. So yeah, but um, Charlie is more when Eden is here. Charlie is more like he know what he has to do. He look confident, but yeah, when Eden is not here, he's so sad and so shady and so because he's is playing a role with Eden. So we could think that is more he know what he wants, but yeah, for me, Charlie is more vulnerable, as we say before,
Yeah,
and I think Eden know exactly why he come back because he wants to be with Charlie and to learn more about Charlie, but um, but maybe yeah, Eden has this revelation with the horse at the end. Don't want to spoil the one movie,
hmm
but yeah. So of course they are both lost, but in a different way, as you say.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but I think each one of us can recognize himself in Eden or in Charlie, and it's
definitely.
two parts of being lost in a way. Yeah,
Yeah. So you've got the closed closed door
yeah,
in one of the rooms upstairs. Now, did you when you first went to the house, did you have to prise that door open first? Like, did you have to open the door yourself before like you started filming
yeah,
and
yeah. When I scooted the house, I scooted the house. The door was already open. Yeah.
all right, okay.
So, but yeah, it's funny because I close the door, I reopen it, close it, reopen. Okay, I think we have to do something with this place. And what I liked it was that there was a room and a small room and this how do you say like placard this closet.
Yes.
And I liked the in a way the maze of a room in a room in a room,
Yeah.
and it was a perfect picture for the state of mind of the two characters.
Yeah.
When Charlie say, "Oh, we could explore the house tomorrow if you come back," it means, "Oh, we could explore our feelings and the way we are lost in our feelings."
Yeah.
And it's funny because you can replace all the dialogue with some more explicit, I would say, a sentence because they're always talking like so with some code. Exploring the house mean exploring our feelings in a way because we would discover that the house is this maze of our feeling. Yeah. So, but this closet was really a surprise when I visited the house the first time. Yeah, I wanted to make this picture of these two characters trying so hard to open the closet and to go not outside of the closet but inside of the closet, which is in a way not what we have to do. We have to go out of the closet. But
Yeah.
for me, it's really this picture that Charlie asked to Eden to come in the closet and and to open the closet, to go inside the closet, and say to go out of the closet to let Eden in this closet again, and to say, okay, now it's time for you to take a picture of me because previously he say I never shoot a boy before, and so Charlie sits on the bed and look at Eden in a way that he say, okay, you are now in the closet and you have to take a picture for the first time of a boy. So go on, you
Mm.
see. So it's really, I think it's really, I don't know, interesting because he make Eden realize his true position with his feeling and the relation they start to build. Yeah. So and then he took this picture, he take this picture, and he go out of the closet to lay in the bed with
Yeah.
Charlie. It's really interesting, I think,
Yeah.
and it's symbolic, of course.
Definitely. So I want to ask about the letter that Charlie writes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've revealed it in the past or when it film came out, because did you always want the audience to not know what is in that letter?
I think we know what is in the letter, but yeah, I mean, I think for me it was in a way evident, obvious that Charlie is writing his feeling for Eden, but I don't know if the audience can understand that exactly. But in a way, this letter is we don't know exactly the words, but I think we can understand the intention
Yeah,
of the letter. But letter is something, again, something really symbolic, because it's writing your feeling and giving this feeling to someone else. But paper is so fragile and yeah. And this idea came from, as I said before, the video clip that I made. And on this video clip, there was already the letter, and the boy that don't feel the same as the boy that gave the letter uh, used the letter to burn a piano, you know.
yeah,
So he was burning the feelings with the letter
yeah.
on the piano. Yeah. So the idea come from this video clip that we made before. Yeah.
So, in your own career, because Eden hides his true self, Charlie sometimes hides his true self. Have you felt pressure in the industry to hold parts of yourself back or to present a version of yourself that felt safer for your own safety?
Yeah, I think it could happen, and it happened. But I'm trying to be as more authentic as possible,
Yeah,
always, because obviously I'm not. Uh, I'm free to make what I want, because in a way my production are very small productions, so it gives me the freedom that I need to don't have to make some compromise or to hide myself. But yeah, I think it's like it's what we are talking about. It's being vulnerable and to hide a part of ourselves. And so yeah, I think, yeah, this work of making movie is exploring and um, see what I'm holding back, what I don't want to talk about, and sometimes open the door, or and to see what there is behind the door, and say, okay, should I take this and explore it? Yeah. Um, but what is important for me is that I will never talk about something that I don't know,
yeah,
because I don't feel I don't want to be just someone who talk about something. I mean, I just want to talk about things that I think it's important and that I can care about and talk about. Yeah,
definitely. Because you do that really well. You can see that in your films
yeah.
that they are very, I think they're great. They are perfect in
Thank
my.
you.
The music in the film is gorgeous.
Yeah, thanks to Jean-Christophe, effectivement.
Yes, Jean-Christophe Jannevel's score feels so in tune with the story. How did you bring him on board for the project?
Oh, it's a long story, because Jean-Christophe is also a singer, and the video clip that I was talking about is for Jean-Christophe. And so we met years ago, because here in Lille, the city where I live, it's a big city, but a small city, because artists know each other a bit. And so yeah, I met him some years ago, and uh, is someone really talentuous, and we have the same I don't know feelings about music and about he's also a writer. He wrote 3 books and I read it, and yeah, I think it was a connection between us. And we didn't spend so many times on the music because for both of us it was clear that what we have to do. And I say okay, and because I arrived and say okay, I would like to work on Purcell Purcell music, the theme of Didon Aîné. And he said, okay, it's gonna be easy because this music is so pure and so intense that we just have to decide which instrument we want to use, and then where we have to make some to use some music on the movie. And he say, okay, you will see, it's gonna be so easy because this music will fit with the melancholy, the feelings of the movie. And yeah, because it's funny because speaking of that, on the script, Charlie was supposed to read a book when Eden come in the house.
Right.
Because Neven, who interprets Charlie, is also a musician and a great singer, as we can
Yes,
hear it on the channel.
definitely.
Yeah. So because he's a musician, I say, okay, maybe you could be on the house to play some music instead of reading. So as we say before, you see the actors can, modify and. The script and the way the movie can be constructed. So the guitar was one of the first instruments. We chose the piano because I was a piano player when I was younger, and I say, okay, it could be really nice to have these both instruments that represent the guitar for Charlie and the piano for Eden. And then we use some violin, cello, and alto for the house. I will say for making the I don't know the things that make it all being together. Yeah. This is how we build the music, and everything is based on this theme of Didon Aîné. And it was so nice to work with him.
Yeah, so you just mentioned it that Eden's sound was the piano and Charlie's sound was the guitar. So when the actors portrayed the characters, is that when that idea clicked where you would say, okay, this is for this character and this sound is for this character?
For Charlie, it was so clear because he was playing guitar on the set. And the piano, was clear for me quickly because it's an instrument that have more sound and more possibility because more character. You can have some really grave sound and and both of the sound were going all together, but were different, but close but different. And speaking of that, it's funny because we were speaking about silent, and when we work on the composition, for example, in the attic, I said to Jean-Christophe, the music has to say what they are thinking, but they are not saying. So sometimes just a few notes of music say, I'm happy that you are here with me, and just you don't say it with some word, but the music has to say it. So it gives the scene something more accurate and more clear about what they feel at this moment. I think it's the best way for the music to be, just not to be here and to be just present, but to play, to give us, as I said for the sound before, to give us some more information about the characters. Yes.
Yeah. So, do you ever imagine revisiting those characters, like doing a prequel film for Eden and a prequel film for Charlie? Separate films for the individuals. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I think it could be a great idea, but unfortunately, it's not possible because both of the two actors are now different, and the house is also different. So yeah, maybe it could be, but um, in a way, yeah, it makes me think that, yeah, when I was younger, often when I was when when films were finished on the cinema, I
Yeah,
always thought, oh, I would like to see the what's going next on, yeah, because yeah, I think we we can be we can have feelings for the character. Sometimes we can just we want to hold them back inside us, and yeah, to see them back, and yeah, it's like if we saw the story of old friends and we want to be friends with them,
yeah,
yeah, but now I consider that, yeah, maybe we need to have this feeling because it's really interesting for ourselves. But I think if a new story appears, this feeling will be different and not so intense. You know, so maybe
yeah,
it's better that it stay like that.
yeah,
But in a way, what is interesting is that I can create some new characters
yeah.
with new films, and so it's interesting to discover new characters. I think if you liked Eden and Charlie, you will like my previous film and my next film because all the character will be almost the same in a way.
So, how you must go through casting for your movies, like casting and that sort of thing. So, what do you look for in a actor that can you can say yes to that actor that says, I'll do this?
It depends. It depends of the character that we have to play, but I would say one thing is really important. It's the kindness of the person. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I want to work with kind people because I think it's really important.
yeah,
Whatever if you are talented or not, I mean, this is something today that is really important because we are going to work together. And yeah, so
yeah,
this is the first, but it's not exactly what I'm looking. Yeah,
yeah,
uh, um, then it depends, yeah, of the character because yeah, in a way, when you write the script, you imagine how the character is and how what is his past, his future, and the state of mind at the moment of the scenario, and so you have to find someone who can understand that.
yeah,
It's not right on the script, but you feel that sometimes some people understand the past of a character despite that it's not right on the script. And when you find someone like that, you find that someone that can with the one you can work and say, okay, I think the character of past is like that. You say, oh, I understand why, and you can work on it. You know,
yeah,
if the actor don't understand all the character, it's gonna be more complicated because you have to use some word to say something that don't need words to be said. You know, you because the past of a character is not written, but you can imagine it.
yeah,
But without words, because as I said, we don't always need words to explain the things. So yeah, I think if you can understand the past of one of my characters, yeah, we can work together.
yeah.
Yeah. And then um, we are looking for people who are gonna be ready to go, because I realize that I make some movie that are not so simple, and there is a lot of sensibility in the work. So yeah, I have to find some people, yeah, who like it in a way, to play slowly, to be in the details. And it's not always easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you sometimes when you write have a picture in your head of what the character's going to look like, how the character is going to act, and
Yeah, you have to, because you are building a character. But I like to be surprised by the actors, and
yeah,
because so it's I think what people maybe don't realize is that the person and the actor is always often really different of the character, you know. And I don't we don't look for people who are exactly the same as the character that we write. No, we are looking for people who can interpret the characters. And so it's not and to answer to your question, yeah, you imagine something, and someone is um, um, for example, in videotape that actors can send you, you say, oh, I never imagined it like that, but it's
yeah.
really interesting, you know. So yeah, you have your own perception, but you realize that someone can make better proposition of your own work. And yeah, sometimes it's really interesting to look at the proposition of the actors, because it opens some new perception of the character that you didn't imagine. Yeah.
So your next short was of Gold and Rain. From what I saw from it, is all about showing your true self.
Yeah.
When you hear that phrase, true self, what does it mean to you personally?
To me personally, okay, um, I think it's the true self. Oh, it's the part of ourselves that we want our close friend to close friends to know and to feel. Um, yeah, we talked later about previously about vulnerability. So I think it's yeah, it's all this as to be naked. I mean, you know, to show yourself, and to be able to yeah, to be yourself in a way.
So the film industry can be a tough place, whether you're doing full-length movies or shorts, films. It's a tough place to stay motivated sometimes. But what keeps you motivated in, between projects? What keeps you going and like resilient?
It's an interesting question, because um, there is something interesting is that you can, and I like, or maybe something that I like is that you can imagine and you can telling to yourself so many stories, and you can write all the story that you want, and explore as much as you want, because it's just for yourself.
Yeah.
And so you can you can go in your own imagination. You can so if someone say, okay, this is not a good story, if someone say you should work this part of the story, na na na, yeah, okay, but nobody will say in my head this is not a good story, because when I'm alone with myself, every stories that I tell to myself is good story, you know. So I think what you have to understand if you start writing stories and want to shoot movies and going into the industry, because I think this is something important to understand, is that there is the industry and there is your way, um, your possibilities. And it's two different things. So if you want to go in the industry, of course, so many people will say, no, this story is not like this, like that, and you will have to make some concession or to rewrite to fit in something maybe that's in a way is not you anymore. You have to be conscious of that and to find your own limits on what you want to do, what you don't want to do with your own work. But in a way, if you want, you can make your own movie to put it on YouTube, and it's your movie, and then you will have no concession to do. Yeah, it's just your movie, you know.
Yeah.
And this is two way of making things that are very different. And as you say, Golden Rain is just, I wanted to tell this story in this way. There is no financement, just we took the camera and lights and we shoot this movie like that. So it's free. It's freedom. It's the way I want to say the things. Whatever if people say it's not a good story, it's not a good whatever. I'm free to do it. I
Yes.
think this kind of experiences um, help us when you are an artist and a videographer, a director, to keep going with the industry parts where you can have so many. It's more difficult in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have just finished shooting something just before. When did you finish? Was it the other day or
Sorry.
the previous project that you've just?
Golden Rain, or just the shoot that the filming that I made a week ago?
Yes, you
Yes.
just finished. That's coming out soon, I assume.
Yeah, I don't know exactly for the moment because yeah, it's interesting because it's we were filming, so yeah, maybe to explain a bit. A week ago, I filmed I shoot for a new project, but I hope it's gonna be a huge project, um, a web series.
Yeah.
I hope, but at the moment we just have a financement for the pilot, so we shoot for it. Now I have to work on the editing, so it's gonna on the music and the sound, and it's gonna
Mhm.
take a bit of time.
Yeah.
And then I have to use this material to find the financement for the other episode. And I think this material will be used in a professional way for a moment before being released online. But I think in a year or maybe 6 months or 9 months, I don't know exactly, but yeah, I hope that we can put it online and say, okay, this is the first of a cool series that's gonna be yeah arrived.
Well, I look forward to that. So, every guest gets a few questions.
Mhm.
Some of them might be difficult, some of them might not be. I always ask because this podcast is the Visions podcast, and I like to know what guests, who their visions are, or what their visions are. A vision of TV that you think, like, who is a vision of TV for you, like an actor or an actress, or a TV show that you absolutely love that you think is brilliant, and a vision of TV that is out there?
Um, I don't have a large culture of the TV and the mainstream TV show because I never watch it a lot.
Mm.
But of course, and obviously, I watch Netflix since many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I discover Young Royals, the series,
Oh,
yeah, that was for me
yeah.
the beginning of something. For me, it's really yeah, especially the first season, of course. That make me realize that if I was younger, when I was younger, if I had this kind of series and possibility to watch this kind of things, uh, yeah, maybe I wouldn't today. I would not talk about vulnerabilities and this kind of things. But maybe
Yeah.
some other subject. Yes, of course. Yeah.
We've all thought that when we've watched stuff like Young Royals or Heartstopper, that sort
Yeah,
of thing. We've all thought that we wish we'd had that when we were younger
of course.
because
Yeah,
they've got it all. They've all got it so much. They haven't got it simpler, but they've got all these shows out there that are bringing these stories to light
yeah, exactly.
more now than they did back then.
Hmm.
What about a vision of movies? Like you're a creator of movies, so an actor again or an actress that you admire, look up to, or a vision like a movie that is a vision to you that you love.
Yeah, some years ago, I really had an experience on which, and I discovered the work of the director Bellatar. Yeah, for me, it was like, okay, this is. I think it was the beginning of I don't know how to say, but yeah, a vision. I think
Yeah,
a way I want to for my movie to be feel to be yeah, and it was really something that I never seen before. And yeah, when I go out of the cinema, I say, okay, this is something I cannot forget. Yeah, and yeah, maybe another thing that make me feel like that was Earthstone. I don't know how to say the word of the director. It's Gudmundur Amar. I don't know exactly the
mhm,
pronunciation. An Iceland from Iceland. Yeah, because it was yeah a movie that in the same way the narrative way of telling the story was really something that impacted me deeply. Yeah, um, because it's really authentic. Yeah,
yeah,
and you cannot say okay for me. I mean, because I can understand that we don't have all the same vision. Yeah, but for me, yeah, when I the same way when I go out of the cinema, I say we cannot ignore this reality of yeah of these two characters. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. A vision of music artists that you love. Yeah,
Yeah, I always loved classical music.
yeah,
And uh, I remember when I was young, my parents wanted to make me a nice present Christmas, and they offered me to make how do you say a race car. In the small car that are going so
yeah.
fast and I say to my parents, there is no chance that I'm gonna make this. But they say, okay, but it's already paid. It's already. I say, okay, but it's not something that I want to make. Okay, so I didn't make it. And a few days later, my mom offered me a piano CD of music, of classical music.
Yeah.
That made me feel really happy. And I listened to it so many times. And there was this piece from Rachmaninoff, Concerto for Piano. And I know it. I listened to it so many times. Yeah.
Mhm. Vision of theatre. Do you have a vision of theatre? It can be a show or a theatre actor or actress.
Yeah, I will also speak about director, but
Hmm.
yeah, because I'm really interesting about director, and
Hmm.
obviously, and I really loved the, the work of Romeo Castellucci, which is someone who is making things that are so I don't know how to say provocative in a way,
Yeah.
of course, but so true and aesthetic. And I like the way that we feel so close of a human being when you look at his work. Yeah, I have so great experience to see his show, and also is someone who is making, who is directing some piece with music and stage acting. So yeah, it's always something like everything fits together: the music, the sound, and the staging. So, and for me, it's something that I really liked. Yeah.
Just one final question about that. Have you ever thought of writing for theatre? Do you see that in the future for yourself?
Yeah, I'm actually working on it, but
Okay.
it's gonna be a long process. But it's interesting because, as I say on the beginning, the story will take place on the beach, and it will be something about crossing the sea to go in England. Yeah, something I don't want to say too much, but
That's fine.
I think at the end we're gonna be on the UK. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a final game called This or That. I'll give you two options. You just have to pick which one describes you best.
Okay.
And there'll be 10 of them. Okay,
Okay.
let's start. Tea or coffee?
Oh, coffee, obviously.
Flying somewhere directly or a road trip?
Oh, road trip. Yeah,
See a play or watch a film?
both.
Okay. Cats or dogs?
Oh, cats.
Samsung or iPhone?
Samsung.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Summer or winter?
Summer. Yeah, summer.
Text message or phone call?
Oh, depends of who, but okay. Text message.
Pizza or pasta?
Pasta.
Reading or audiobooks?
Oh, reading. Yeah.
Okay. Benoit, thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
to
me.
you.
It's been amazing. It's been a real pleasure. Can't wait to see what's coming out next. Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.